Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. We're here to talk about the curriculum at Dunn School for the school years 25-26. My name is Simon Sweeney. I'm the Associate Head of School. I'm joined here today by Terri Devine, our Director of College Counseling, and Beth McCoy, our Dean of Academics. We are going to talk through today the course list we have, course recommendations, and then also talk about the timeline of how kids are both presented with that course list and how to sign up for the courses. And first, we're going to hear from Terri talking through our requirements.
Hi, everyone. Beth is going to go through all the courses that are available for next year. But prior to doing that, I think it's helpful to look at our graduation requirements and our recommendations for courses. So you'll see below here on the slide, there's English, math, science, history, world language, art, and electives, and the number of years that are required and those that are recommended. So generally at Dunn School, we recommend that students take courses across the academic foundation, English, math, science, history, and world language every year, because that's the best preparation for college and for that freshman year of college. So while they have some choice, especially in that senior year, those are our recommendations. And if you look at what is listed here in terms of the number of years that are required, those are directly in line with college entrance requirements. And we also would then encourage students to go beyond just the minimum requirements so that they are competitive as they're applying to college. Next slide. Students also have the opportunity to take advanced coursework across the disciplines. And we find that this is a nice thing for some students who really want to have more rigor in their program, but it's also important that they take a balanced schedule. So we generally recommend that students would take 2 to 3 advanced courses if they're going to take them at once, but not to overload and try and take all of them. Often that can be a pretty heavy load for students. So they also have other things that they're doing. They are playing sports, they're in clubs and different activities, and maybe they have a job or they have obligations at home. So we want to make sure that they have that balance in their schedule. The appropriate rigor is also important. And when we look at the advanced courses, we will look to the teachers for their recommendations for the student as well. We want to see what the grades were in the previous course to see if they're ready for the level of rigor that the advanced course would provide. And we also prepare students generally. We don't have an AP curriculum at Dunn. Students are expected to prepare on their own for an AP exam. And some of the classes line up more closely with the AP curriculum than others. We do offer the advanced placement exams here at Dunn. They are not required for students to take, but if they would like to take them, we do have them available. So students should really meet with their teacher, with their advisor, with me in college counseling. If they're thinking about taking any of those AP exams, we can give them some guidance on what might be the best choice. So we really rely heavily on our teachers to provide us with information about the student and their interests and their previous academic work as we're thinking about those advanced courses. We often will get the question, should a student take an advanced course and get a lower grade or take the easier course and get a higher grade? And there really is no easy answer to that. We want students to have the appropriate rigor, right? So generally, if they're getting C's in advanced courses, then they may not be placed appropriately. So we would hope that they would be getting those higher level grades in those rigorous courses. Just want to make sure you're aware of those and what's available.
Okay,
And I think I'll
thank you.
turn it over to Beth.
Thank you, Terri.
Thank you,
Beth.
Terri. Hi, I'm Beth McCoy. I oversee the academics here at Dunn, working close association with both Terri and Simon, who you just met. I'm going to review some of the course offerings that we have for each of the different levels. So we'll start with English. This is the only arena in which we require that students take 4 years of English during each of their years that they're at Dunn. They start off at the 9th grade level at English 9, and then after that, depending on their interest and their success with that particular course, they can choose to track onto the advanced English track, starting with the English 10 and then up, or they can continue on their traditional English track, continuing for all the remainder of those 4 years. If you look at the right-hand side, those are some elective options that we have that fall underneath the English umbrella. The first is a creative writing course. That's a course that's available through grades 10 through 12 and focuses on the development of writing. The second is a rhetoric and forensics course that is available from 9 through 12. And that is a program that focuses on speech and debate and skill development in that area. The multilingual support is a course that is available for our English as a second language learners. Next slide. For our mathematics program, we require 3 years. So you can see those darker colors in the grades 9 through 11 down below, but we do recommend 4. And so those options that are at the lighter red at the top are some of the ones that they can elect to take to meet that 4-year requirement. Starting at the freshman year, this is unique. This is the area in which students can select to enter onto the advanced track from that freshman level. And so they can start at the regular Math 1 and then work upwards, or they can start at the advanced Math 1 and work upwards from the advanced Math 1 to the advanced Math 2. That advanced pre-calculus course was formerly known as Advanced Math 3. It's been renamed Advanced Pre-Calculus in order to emphasize that it's preparing students for those advanced calculus programs that we have as optional ones that they can take beginning in their senior year traditionally. If you take a look at those senior year options, you'll recognize that calculus name. That name has changed slightly from the past. So that Advanced Calculus 1 was formerly known as Calc AB. The course itself has not changed, just simply the title. Another option that we have starting at their senior level or once they've completed Math 3 once they've completed the advanced pre-calculus, I apologize, is the advanced statistics as well. Math 4 is a 4th-year math course that students can elect to take after completing Math 3, and it focuses largely on a review of concepts rather than the introduction of too much more material, such as would be the case with the statistics, the calculus, and the calculus 2. Another course that we're adding on to this year under the mathematics umbrella is the computer science course, at which students become eligible to be able to take depending on what their previous coursework was, but at their junior year. For our sciences, this is another one in which we require that students take 3 years of science beginning in their freshman year. So you'll notice that those options are in that dark red, indicating that those are requirements. We do strongly encourage students to take a 4th year of science, and those are the ones that are indicated in that lighter red at the top. So beginning at the freshman level, this is similar to what we saw with the English in that there is no option to take that advanced for that freshman. We are focusing largely on the development of skills in this particular course, and they start off with the introduction to Earth systems. Once they've developed that course and that sort of foundational knowledge of science, they can move on to chemistry, and at that point they can elect onto an advanced track. That's the option there for Advanced Chem 1. Chemistry is unique in that we do offer 3 different levels to the course: the advanced, the traditional, and the investigating chem, which places a greater emphasis on kinesthetic learning and less of an emphasis on the development of math skills. It is still there, but it's less of an emphasis. During their junior year, they can then move on to taking biology. They can elect to take that at the advanced level. And then once they complete that advanced biology level, they can elect their senior year to take the advanced biology 2. That is one that does have an AP association with it. So it does help prepare them for that particular exam, which is why it's that 2nd level course. We also offer as electives, once they've completed those 3 core levels, the advanced physics, the advanced chemistry 2. That one's similar to the advanced bio 2, that it does have that AP association with it to help prepare them for it. The anatomy and physiology, and then the advanced environmental science, which also has an AP affiliation with it, that it helps prepare them for that particular exam. Next slide. For our history and social sciences, again, this is one in which 3 years are required that you see in the bottom in the dark red. 4 years are recommended, represented by the optional ones that they can take that are marked up there by that senior level or that 12th grade level. So we start again at History 9, where all students take it at that traditional level, depending on their interests and their engagement with that course. They can opt to track onto the advanced track during their sophomore year. That advanced world history is one that does have an AP affiliated association with it. At the completion of the world history courses, they move on to the US history for their junior year. That advanced US history also has an AP affiliated association with it. Once they've completed those 3 years of history, they're done with their required courses at Dunn, but we strongly encourage them to take that 4th level. Again, in that lighter red, that's the psychology, the modern world history, which is the new offering for this year, and economics. The economics course is also available for students to begin taking their junior year, so they can sign up for US history and economics in conjunction and take them concurrently at the same time. For our arts program, we have a number of different tracks that students can go on, from various different levels of music to photography to 3D art and design, which folds in elements of ceramics of it as well. So you'll see that sort of bottom courses that they need to take to sort of develop those underlying skills within each of those art courses, and then can continue on that particular track as they work their way up through their 11th and 12th grade year. We do require 1 year of art, and we recommend more, particularly for students that want to stand out in these areas. So for the music program, they can start off with either the Fundamentals of Music, a course that focuses on developing their understanding of music literacy through the use of guitar and sometimes piano, or they can elect to take our vocal ensemble course, which places an emphasis on singing. From there, they can move up through their development of various ensemble groups, mastering each of these skills as they continue on. With the studio art, that begins with the Studio Art 1 program, and from there they can take Studio Art 2, Studio Art development, as well as Studio Art portfolio. So those are, if they were to take multiple years of that art, once they get up to that 3rd level, they put together a final portfolio that can then be presented to colleges. For our photography, that's available at the Photo 1 level. They follow up to the Photo 2 level. They can then choose to take an independent photo if they would like to put together a portfolio for photography, but another option that goes from there is that videography course as well, that builds on the skills that they learned in photo, but also folds into elements of videography. For the 3D art and design, that starts off at the bottom, that's there. Again, that's one that does still fold in elements of ceramics, but they work with other media as well. They can take that at the 2nd level, and then they can continue on at the portfolio development level if that's an area that they would like to stand out in as well. Next. So for our global language program, we offer 2 different languages right now. So the students can start off at either Spanish 1 or French 1. The Spanish 1, the reason why it tracks up all the way to the 4th level is that that program has been around longer. So we have students that have currently met that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year level. This French 1 and the French 2 is because we began offering that this past year. And so we're going to offer it again. And so we're offering that French 2 level for those that completed French 1 previously, and then on future years we'll be adding the 3rd and 4th levels in for them to continue on those tracks. At this time, we do also offer the upper level Spanish, starting at Spanish 2 at that advanced level, from going on up all through 4. We included the multilingual support on here to place an emphasis that for some of our individuals that are coming in internationally, that is to help them develop what is a global language to them, which is English, to further develop their skills in that area. For our Jurgensen's entrepreneurship program, this is one that has that business and entrepreneurship focus. It starts off with that skill building that becomes available at the freshman year level. Other grade levels are able to take that introduction course as well too, that folds in elements of running our school market that we have, in which the students make lots of decisions and lots of investment of that money. They then can travel up to the investors and philanthropists course, which is sort of taking those ideas to the next level when it comes to investing that particular money and running and learning how a business is run. Then they can also opt to take the Pioneers or internship program, which is for those students who are particularly interested in one particular area that they would like to develop an internship one in that is also followed by a teacher in order to be able to earn credit. And then at that upper level course, you see that economics that's there again. We've seen that one before. It also meets the history requirements, but it does fall under this umbrella as well. And then EntreX program, which is part of our entrepreneurship program, in which they use, in which they identify social problems that they can solve through the development of business. Under our innovation program, these are again all electives. They can start off at that freshman level with an introduction to innovation. We're bringing in a new program this year or revitalizing it under their robotics program. Then they can move on up to taking that innovation course at the next level that also works in conjunction with some entrepreneurship aspects in order to fold in innovation with then selling and marketing their innovative idea.
Thank you, Beth, and thank you, Terry. So I'm going to talk quickly about the timeline again. So we will be working closely with the juniors during the seminars coming up to both show them their offerings and then also have them select their courses. And then with the freshmen and sophomores, as they move up to become sophomores and juniors, there's more courses available. And myself, Ms. Plesdino, who is our registrar, and Ms. McCoy will be working through that with those students. And hopefully we're able to get courses selected and schedules put together prior to people leaving for the summer. And so that way, if there are courses that students in April really wanted to be part of their career going forward, and then in May that's not the case, we're able to make those adjustments. New students, part of the process, you'll be able to work with Ms. McCoy and Ms. Plastino in terms of choosing your courses through our learning platform Blackboard, and we will make that available to you in late April, so in a couple of weeks from this recording. And so that way you can also choose your courses, and so go into summer feeling like you know what you're going to be doing when you come to school in the fall. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video all the way to this point, and hopefully you have a better understanding of both the course list we have it done as well as the process. If you have questions regarding this, our emails will be available on our website, and we'll also put them on the letters that come out to new families so you know who we are. And have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.